Okay, ready for another deep dive?
Always.
All right, so today we're going deep on, well, needs and wants.
Needs and wants.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah, it's kind of a classic, right? But we're taking it from this guide called Superfluous Needs and Wants.
Oh, Superfluous Needs and Wants, a guide to essential living.
Yes, that's the one. And I got to say the cover of this thing really got me thinking.
What is it?
It's a person, like almost drowning in a mountain of stuff.
Wow.
I know. Makes you think, right?
It really does. Like, how much do we really need?
Right. And that's where this idea of superfluous comes in.
Yeah.
You know, that the guide actually defines superfluous as, well, anything beyond what we actually need.
Mm-hmm.
So think about that for a minute. I mean, how much of what we own or even, work towards is really superfluous?
Oh, that's a good question to think about. I mean, especially, you think about how often we just use the words need and want, like they mean the same thing. Oh, yeah.
This guide makes a really clear distinction between those two. Like, needs are things that are essential for us to grow, for our well-being.
Okay.
But wants,
Right.
well, wants are those extras, the things that, sure, they might be fun, they might be enjoyable, but we don't actually need them to thrive. And what's really interesting is the guide even says that what we consider a want, that can be totally subjective, Like what's a want for me might be a need for you.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
Like, for example, like a really nice coffee maker. That might be a want for me, but for someone who, is really into coffee, it's like a ritual for them and they need that specific machine, then that's a need for them.
Exactly. It all comes down to what you value, what your priorities are.
Yeah.
And I think that's something the guide really hits on, is that a lot of the things that we think we want are actually, they're driven by things outside of us.
Oh, that's interesting. Like advertising or, what society tells us we should want.
I feel like I'm always seeing ads for stuff I didn't even know I wanted. And then suddenly I'm like, oh, I need that.
Right. And we end up chasing all these things that might not even, line up with what we actually need.
So it's like we're always running on this treadmill of wanting, but never really getting anywhere.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. A treadmill of wants.
But the guide suggests that that needs are, well, they're more attainable. And, maybe if we weren't so focused on all these fleeting wants, we could actually focus on things that, actually help us grow.
Right. And isn't that the whole point of self-improvement? To focus on the things that truly matter for our growth and well-being?
I think so, yeah. I mean, think about all the time and energy we spend chasing things we don't really need. Like, what if we put all that effort into, building relationships or learning something new?
Or even just, enjoying the moment, being present.
Yeah. That's a good one. Being present, it's so hard these days with, everything going on.
Right. There's always something demanding our attention.
Always.
But this guide, it seems like it's saying that by simplifying, by focusing on our needs, we can actually create space for those things.
Yeah.
The things that actually make us happy.
Yeah. It's like, have you ever read about those athletes, like the really successful ones?
Yeah, for sure.
They always talk about, being disciplined and focused, like they're trying to block out the noise so they can focus on what's really important.
Exactly. I think that's kind of what this guide is getting at. It's about, making conscious choices about what we allow into our lives, what we give our energy to. It's not about depriving ourselves. It's more about aligning our actions with our values,
Right.
Figuring out what we really need and then going after that.
So how do we do that? Like, how do we apply that idea to our lives?
Well, the guide has a whole section on that. It talks a lot about self-awareness.
Self-awareness, right?
Yeah, like taking a step back and figuring out what actually matters to us.
Okay, so how do you do that?
Well, there are a lot of different ways. Like some people, they find journaling helpful or, just taking some time to reflect on your values, what's important to you, what brings you joy.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can be as simple as just having an honest conversation with yourself.
Yeah, like checking in with yourself.
Exactly. And then the guide also talks about setting boundaries. That can be really helpful in limiting how much we're exposed to those external pressures that,
Right.
that try to tell us we need all this stuff.
Ooh. Boundaries are important. I need to work on that.
They're tough, but so worth it. Because, in a way, it's like we're taking back control of our own story. We're not letting, advertisers or social media or whatever tell us what we should want.
Yeah.
We get to decide.
We get to decide. I
Oh.
like that. I really like that.
It's powerful stuff.
Yeah. It's like I'm starting to see like all the benefits of, just simplifying, focusing on what really matters. I think that's really resonating with me. So as we wrap up here, I want to leave our listeners with something to think about. After hearing all this, what stands out to you most about about this idea of shifting our focus from wants to needs? Like what really resonates with you? What benefits do you see in that? And how do you think making that shift could lead to a more, impactful and fulfilling life, not just for you, but for everyone around you?
That's a great question to ponder. I think I'll be thinking about that one for a while.
Me too.
Oh.
Me too. Thanks for diving deep with us today.
Always a pleasure.
And until next time, keep on thinking.
And keep it essential.
Yes. Keep it essential. Bye, everyone.